Oh, okay. Okay. Do that.
Haven't been around much to chat.
It's been okay. Productive and unproductive, as always.
I love the owl drawing you got going.
Thank you. I'm gonna try to make a whole series of those. I like your bear drawing.
Thanks.
Apothecary cow. I thought that said apothecary cow, which is funny, but crow works as well. Hello, welcome in. Read your name wrong. I apologize. Welcome in, Druid. Thanks for hanging out today.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's exciting. I had a bunch of weird projects to do this week, and I think, all of them done. Oh, which? Nope, I just remembered. I forgot one. I need to do something real quick. Druid is drawing up at the top right. I'm going to draw a rugby, but first I have to sign a birthday card and put it in the mail. So, if I don't do that, I'm going to get in trouble. Okay. I'm always terrified of signing birthday cards because I feel like you only get one shot. This time, I printed out 2 of them. I've discovered I can just make my own birthday cards. I should sell birthday cards instead of doing what's it called? Oh shoot, what's the thing where you cameo?
Yeah.
Just make people birthday cards. That could be fun.
I mean, I'd rather get a birthday card hand drawn from an artist that I like than get a cameo from a celebrity or pseudo celebrity.
I already screwed up. Attempt number 2. Here we go. It could actually be really fun. What would people want for like fantasy-based birthday cards?
That's a good question, actually. Sorry about that, dude. Had to take a quick break. It's Friday. We're doing the viewer suggestion again. We have a whole bunch of really great suggestions today. We're gonna work on those. Are you drawing a fly man or a mothman? Mothman.
Let me go slap this in the mailbox before the mailman shows up. And then we'll start drawing stuff. We're gonna do that.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Now that I've started the stream late, and then still had to do other stuff on the stream. I'm a good streamer. I know what's going on. I fed the cats already, so that's a bonus. All right, here we go. Let's draw some rugbies. How's your drawing extravaganza been going? Question Justice, hello.
It's mostly been going pretty good. For anybody who's interested, I've been doing Terran Fiddler's Weretober drawing challenge, which is a different were creature hybrid every day. And today was Sun Bear. Turned out pretty good.
Oh, okay. So it's you. Yeah, I didn't realize you had a list. I think I remember you posting that now.
Yeah.
But that's what's deciding the different creatures.
Yeah. It's been like, look, I've never been great at keeping up with this sort of drawing challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And like I really get into the drawings once I get started, but like it gets harder and harder to get started every day. And I'm a little worried about that.
My first 2 days of October were orcs, and then I just immediately went back to drawing different things. So, Weretrout, got it.
Weretrout. There was a Weretrout, I think, last year.
That sounds familiar.
I am getting better with the brush that I draw with in Krita, though. Especially getting better at hand anatomy, which is
nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I should say getting more confident with it. I haven't compared to know for sure if I'm actually getting more accurate.
I always have that problem. Like I really like the picture I used for the thumbnail today. On Wednesday, I was like, "Oh, damn, that's great!" And then I looked at it today, and I was like, "This is all right." So I never really know how artwork is gonna have a staying power for me. But yeah. Bri, hello, welcome in. A mimic cake? What? What? Lava larva lemon cake. I'm confused about what's happening.
I've also decided that I think I'm done with the swamp things, and I'm gonna do bug people for a little bit as warm-ups.
Sorry to hear that, Bato. Hope you have a safe trip. Things are going all right.
Oof.
Talkadile, huh? Cousin, what is a tacodile?
An animate taco in the shape of a crocodile?
Oh, you asked what people would want on the birthday cards. Mimic cakes. Got it.
Oh.
Would it look like a cake until you open it and then it eats somebody? You could put like teeth on the inside. That could be funny. Or would it just be a mimic cake on the front? Tootsie is drawn. I'm not a fan of these ears. We're going to change the ears up. What do mimic organs look like? They look like organs. Or are you talking about like internal organs?
Yeah, because if it's a pipe organ mimic, it's just a pipe organ with teeth.
They look like a goo. There's a lot of weird creatures that look pretty normal, but their stuff just functions differently.
Yeah.
Like cats can drink salt water.
Because
But
their
can't eat
kidneys. Yeah. The kidneys are great with salt, but not with theobromines.
Like that. Moniker, welcome in. Is Rugby a goblin in a bugbear costume or just the world's least threatening barghast? He is a goblin wearing a bugbear rug.
Although I also like least threatening barghast.
I think those two things can be not mutually exclusive.
Hmm.
We just make him a demon instead of a goblin.
And I've got to get used to Aggie shortcuts again.
Oh yeah. Can't decide if this is a good enough rugby or if I should draw something else. Oh, you know what? It is still Octobear, so I probably need to add a bear and or squid to this. What should we do? What if we put a fudgy bear on the top?
Is it Octobear because it's October and you've made a drawing prompt out of changing around syllables?
It's the super chat side quest.
Yeah.
Anybody
But
get
is it because it's October and Octobear is spelled the same as October?
Yes. So if you do the super chat today or through this month, I'll either draw a bear or an octopus. That is the challenge. Brr. This is either a really big rugby or a very tiny bear. I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 as a abjuration wizard, which is amazing. I can be super tanky. For like brief moments, I can take half damage and have 25 AC. So it's pretty great. But
Nice.
The only other thing I do in combat is just like I just can't constantly cast enlarge person on somebody, and we've been doing it to a bear. Thank you, Bri. Would you like a bear or an octopus? And do you need a class specification? Like I'm fine with a detail. What is your bear and or octopus suggestion? Dealer's choice. All right. I'm gonna draw a druid bear, I think. And then I'm gonna keep all of these on the screen as they go, so you're gonna get kind of small. And then we'll put it off to the side, and it'll just hang out today. I don't know what the music is doing today, but it's doing something. Looks like a rugby bear, but it's gonna be great. Afternoon. Hope you're doing well today. Elvin here. Hello, welcome in. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Everyone else is doing all right. I hope everybody had a good week. It's kind of a weird week.
Yeah, it was.
I think these ears need to be farther down. That's a pretty weird looking bear. I don't know what I've done here.
Just do the upside down, or the sideways crescent moon on his chest, and you got a sun bear.
Sideways crescent moon.
Just derp him up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna derp him up. I'm gonna derp him up real good. I want to give him antlers too, because that's gonna be my thing for a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I should make him an Octobear. Give him 8 arms.
Absolutely.
The other weird thing about sun bears is they just have like ginormous tongues, which is always
Yes,
very weird.
they're super creepy. For my sun bear drawing challenge, I looked at a couple of those for reference, and I was like, do I want to do anything with this or not? And I very firmly came out on the side of not doing that.
I'm gonna put the ears up top. I think the ears up top are gonna be better. Little tiny. There you go. Here you go, Brian. Thank you for supporting the Octobear. We'll just put him right down there. Yeah. The Chimera machine. I feel like that's kind of my whole jam. A little higher, maybe? We'll go about right there. Okay. I think that's a good place to start. Nope, you got fired. Uh-oh. Is that sarcasm, or did you finally get kicked off the parrot farm? My day is a day, and it does not deal with Fae. Good. Meanwhile, Player Handbook 2024, Abjuration Wizard got nerfed. Get with the program, Watsy. Uh-oh. Did I finally find something and then they get rid of it? That tends to happen. I'm usually pretty late on the good things. I play a lot of really garbage. And then a customer told you were too good for your job and I needed a new one and she fired me. I hope she had a business model for you. Like, come work for me. Otherwise, no. Yeah. Is that an otter jackalope? Could be. It's got a little too much claw. But yeah.
He does look fairly otter.
Bears are just big otters. It's fine.
I mean, it's kind of true, but...
Color. Purple. Okay. We'll start the one first. Not weird poll. and we'll go ahead and we'll get the first dice rolling out of the way. So if you're new here, you don't know what's going on, you can suggest a character in the chat. I have a list of all the ones suggested this week, and we're going to roll the dice, and the dice will determine what we draw. If you're not new here, go tell your friends that I'm live streaming, and then bring them into the chat and get them to suggest stuff. We need more viewers. 18, a black dragonborn barbarian with black scale armor. Dark on dark on dark. I'm going to start with a dark purple today. Things that shouldn't exist, go? I don't know what that means. Sounds like an invitation for drama and cringe.
Blake. A dragon. Barb.
I guess Black Dragonborn. Should write Dragonborn, not dragon. It's a different thing. Damage made out of sand. Pretty funny. Leonardo, hello, welcome in. Platypizza? pizza? I don't know what that means. Like, it's a pizza with platypuses? Because I think that's toxic. I know platypuses are poisonous. You eat platypuses?
Male platypi have venomous barbs. I don't think platypus itself is poisonous.
Yes, I was interviewed this morning for a realtor office. Nice. Best of luck. Up in the air as the most pointed description for losing a job. Yeah, I'd be careful to use. I mean, like getting fired and then the personal responsibility versus like claiming themselves being a victim. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be careful about thinking about it that way. Losing your job is like it can be a huge thing, whether you get fired or laid off or quit. And I think it's a big. I don't want to say responsibility. What's the other thing? Like getting past that is tough, but it's something you have to do, right? Like trying to understand like that just losing a job isn't necessarily. It is an ending, but like. Most people will go through many, many jobs in their lifetime. Very few people do just have one job for their whole life. So, at least that's in my experience. You might do the same thing. You might do different things, but like, very few people have one job their whole lives. So, it's something that is very achievable to get past and work through, and it can be tough. But yeah, changing big life changes always happen. Finding ways to not get stopped by them is a good life lesson. God, from the time I was, I want to say about 17 until when I quit my job here a year or two ago, I'm still very much employed. Like, I'm working every day. But, like, from that point in time, there was only one semester in college where I just didn't have a job. And it was a weird time in my life. So, like, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to kind of like breaking from what you're used to is just weird. It's weird, and it shifts your whole perspective on life. So something you gotta deal with.
Yeah.
Like, something weird going on in my eye. Hold on a second. There we go. Oh. What's happening? Garbage man. I have aggressively left jobs, but no matter how much I deserved it, I've yet to be fired or removed from a job. I'd probably be less sarcastic if I had been when I was younger. I got fired from a Pizza Hut once, but it was kind of a mutual firing. They wanted to, I was a cook. I was a cook at Pizza Hut for 2 years, a year and a half or something like that. And then I was finally old enough to become a delivery driver. So I started doing that, but then the people they hired to be cooks were just idiots. And weren't reliable. And so they're like, we need you to be a cook again. And I'm like, nope. I don't want to do that anymore. And it pays less, and it's awful, and the hours suck. And I don't want to do it. That's why I became a driver. And they're like, well, we need you to do it. I'm like, I no, it's not my job anymore. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to schedule you next week. I'm like, I'm not going to come in. And they scheduled me, so I went boating. And my boss called me, and he's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm out boating. He's like, you are supposed to be at work right now. I'm like, no, I told you if you scheduled me, I wasn't going to show up. And he's like, well, then I guess just don't show up for your next shift either. I'm like, okay. And I hung up on him, and that was it. So it's just kind of never went back. So that was fun, but also, you know, it's okay to do that kind of stuff when you're 17, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah. Depending on how like toxic your workplace is, it might be okay to do that at any time. Just be aware that doing that without another job lined up is potentially kind of stupid. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Did the YouTube chat freeze, or did Plata Pizza just like break everybody? I don't think you were fired. I think you abandoned the job. Yeah, essentially. That's what I was saying. Like, they very much were. They're like, we're gonna fire you, and it's just like, that's fine. I don't care.
I think that franchises that take advantage of especially young, an especially young workforce like Pizza Hut, like McDonald's, companies that primarily get their employees from extremely young people, they tend to do a lot of things like what you described, which is kind of like, in terms of rules or federal rules for employment are kind of sketchy. Like attempting to force you to change positions when you have not given consent, unpaid overtime, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be disagreements and stuff, and like, yeah, I've said my piece about the restaurant industry here on this channel, I think, so I don't really need to rehash it, but
Fair.
I've had some really good experiences too, so I don't know many people think that it's awful. It definitely can be.
All work is work.
Work is work, yep. Definitely had some strange commissions. And not like weird things I don't want to draw. Like, I've had some issues with just like dealing with the people doing them, trying to take advantage of me as an artist. Nope, that's just something you have to learn. So I mean, like, learning how to deal with that stuff is part of life. Same way as, you know, getting laid off, losing a job. Just part of the human condition. That's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay to be sad. It's okay to have to deal with those things because they can be very stressful. I don't know if this looks black dragony enough. I think they're supposed to look more skeletal, right?
yeah, they kind of look like they got a skull for a head.
Maybe we'll just get rid of the nose.
At least in 5e, anyway.
And add more teeth. More teeths. Nope, not frozen. Okay, good. Oh, Lord. We're here, and I've quit only one job myself. To quote Rodney Dangerfield, I got no respect. It's a good time to quit. Good time to quit.
Yeah, most of the labor force in the U.S. right now is kind of all on the same page. better conditions, better pay, or like, I'm not saying everybody should walk from their jobs, but corporations seem to be beginning to get the idea that.
Well, I mean, it's. I think my view of it is a lot of it is, kind of a cause and effect of. What is it called?
Late stage capitalism?
Well, yeah. I mean, yes. But, like, the inflation that we're experiencing is only partially due to... It's artificial. There's a fair amount of artificial inflation. And it's like, listen, companies, you can either, A, keep up with inflation and pay your people more, or stop overinflating things. Like, those are your options. And so they've erred on the side of, we want to keep we want to make it look like our company's making more money, but we don't want to pay the people more. And it's like, you can't do that. Like, if everything costs more, you have to pay people more. And so that's why we're having all these contentious things. So there's just quite a bit of issues that are going on right now. But like, overall, it's a lot of negotiating that needs to be done. So
yeah,
I hope people are doing all right. And I know a lot of people are struggling, which is, you know, what happens.
Yeah, it does. And that's unfortunate. But the negotiation is starting to happen, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I'd honestly be fine making less money at a job if shit costs less. Like, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
there's a definite bit of chicanery going on that needs to be addressed.
There are very specific rules why France has extremely strict laws about how bread is produced and its cost.
It's okay to not want a promotion. It's okay to be happy with your current position. My current job re-promoted me to a position they posted me for. Ugh. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as going the other way, right? It's like, like those are the things you should talk about. And I hope, like I said, I hope one day, if I can actually make this a company, like, maybe I'll have to change it from Rookzer0 art to something else. Like, I do think I do want to try to find a way to make it so that people are very happy with their jobs, and they get paid in a way that they feel is fair. Like, that's the biggest thing to me. Just making sure that payment feels fair.
Well, as much as I would love to be hired by you to, like, do this every week, I'm not going to necessarily count on it.
You're fired.
Fine.
Pack up your stylus.
Can I finish my drawing?
Pack up your stylus and get out of it. Like, how do you fire someone from a Discord server? It's like, you're you're banned, but not really, because you can just rejoin if you want. But still. Pick up your severance pay later, which I guess would just be like a few stickers. I have some friends that work for I don't know if it's technically WotC or not. They work for Magic. But I don't know if that actually, I think it's Wizards of the Coast. I think it is Wizards of the Coast that they work for. Mm-hmm. But it might be a Hasbro branch. It doesn't matter. I'm getting caught up in semantics. Part of their pay is in free merchandise. Like they get points just for working, and then they can go to one of the shops and buy like boxes of cards. And that's common. Like that's how their whole system works. So I'll have friends that are like, hey, you want to do a draft? Because this month I got a big box of booster packs. It's like, I can't sell them legally. While you're working for Hasbro, you're not allowed to sell it. So you have to, it's just good to have. And it's like, interesting. I like it. It's kind of a cool way to like let your employees collect the thing you're making. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I feel like the only thing I could offer it that way would be like, I'll pay you in Amazon gift cards and stickers this month. It's like, hooray. Black dragons tend to be evil and gaunt. Okay, we can make this bad boy a little more gaunt.
Tell you what, when I get my own YouTube channel up and running, you can pay me an exposure.
There we go. Artists like that, right? People love that.
No. You are the only person since I was 24 that I will consider working for exposure.
There's I've had a handful of people email me about like, I have 40,000 followers on Instagram and I'd like you to draw these things. And it's just like, no, thank you though. Like, I don't know. I've done the same thing in the opposite direction of like asking people like, hey, are you guys doing a promotion? We're like getting stuff, right? So I got the Pathfinder game and I did a sponsored stream for that. Wrath of the Righteous. It wasn't really sponsored. I was just like, hey, I make these videos. Are you guys doing any review copies so I can do that? And they're like, yeah, just post it and send us the link. I'm like, cool. And then I did that. And that always feels like, hey, can I get exposure? Or I'll give you guys exposure if you give me free stuff. And like, that is a business model. That is absolutely a business model.
Yeah, but it's a better business model for larger companies. It tends to not do very well for small creators.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, yeah, them giving you a copy of the game is not the same effort as like actually asking you for physical work. Yeah, and that's why I'm totally fine. Like if people want to use like my sketches that I've already done and like done for the community, like, hey, can I use this like as a reference or can I use this for my game stuff? I was like, yeah, that's great. I love that because then I'm getting to share my stuff with you. I'm totally on board with that, but it's different than like, hey, will you draw my dog? It's like, no, I won't draw your dog. Pretty early in the stream for economics. That's true. We jumped on the bandwagon early. They almost never seems to keep up with inflation. Yeah, it's a little bit weird.
Inflation is stupid.
I can go into the economics of that, but I don't think people want that. So.
I suppose I should really say inflation is frustrating.
Sure.
Because it's really an opinion, not an objective. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, no, we can move on.
We need new topics. I'm despite myself falling upward. It's true management. Okay, there you go. Off the clock, your benefits and health plans have been discontinued. Yeah, I had a boss that would he would tell me like, okay, if it gets too slow, just clock out and hang out for a while. I'm like, if I clock out, I'm going home. Like,
yeah, no, you can't do that.
Like,
that's wildly illegal.
Mm-hmm. I need you to be
Not
here, but I don't
just
want you
in
to work.
California.
It's like this. No. Nope.
Yeah, no. If you are going to require an employee to be there, you have to pay them.
I think I'm doing better with my shape language, like sketching shape language.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get more definition out of my sketches, which I'm really happy with. Like, that's what I spent yesterday doing quite a bit of. Like I did a study yesterday of Spider-Man.
Yeah, it turned out really good. It's very
It
cool.
did, but it was very much a. I want to say it's a study because I had a reference, and it just like it was a painted reference, and I was trying to sketch it, and I was just like, oh my god, there's so many muscles that I don't care about most of the time.
Yep.
I was like, kind of broke my brain a little bit, but it was really good. It was fun to do, and that's important to do. It's important to do from time to time.
I have been learning with my drawing prompts that like the quality of the reference I find matters so much, and it helps me go really fast actually if I can find good reference quickly.
Shape language, is that a new term for you, or like I think we use that on the channel, don't we?
Yeah,
Shape language.
I think so. Shape language is kind of a
kind of a catch-all for.
yeah, it's definitely like snooty artist terminology. Well, not really even snooty artist. It's like general art terminology for like, I guess the way you use shapes to fool people's eye, and it has a lot to do with how you have things overlap and how you simplify complex things
that's a good way to look at
into simple images.
I always think about it as like conveying shape. How do you convey shape?
Yeah.
And it can be as simple as like character shape, trying to like, oh, this character's really buff, right? It's so make him more blocky, make him more pointy if they're evil. It used to be the big thing, like softer, rounder characters. They're supposed to be more caring. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe I've never talked about it before. Like they use it is just a different way of like visual communication. And kind of like deciding what your shape languages are. So like for this guy, I'm making him very, very pointy. And like make him very thin. Black dragons are thin. Like that's something you can do with shape. Like you don't have to do a lot of detail. You just do it with shape. Just the overall thing. And so when you're doing sketching versus painting, a lot of silhouette is important.
Yeah.
But then once you start cutting in, it's like, is this round? Is this rigid? Is this like all of these things are that kind of shape language you need to start talking about to get more detail put into your sketches. And so I'm using texture now to improve my shape language so people can read my drawings more easily. And I'm trying to do that with texture. That's currently my current mode of what I'm working on.
We also say it's shape language, but like it's not just shapes. Like it mostly boils down
curves,
to shapes,
line weight.
But yeah. Line, shape, color, value, texture.
Legibility is another thing. I think I probably say legibility. Like I try to make my stuff more legible. You use shape language to do that. I like the concept, but I haven't sat down and practiced drawing in years. It's good. You don't have to.
Yeah.
If you don't want to, don't do it.
Yeah. Shape language is something you don't really run into until like you take an art 101 or design 101 drawing class or a class in college.
It's kind of the same thing with like music theory. Anyone can sit down and plink around on a guitar, but like if you want to understand why things sound good or why things sound a certain way, you get into music theory. You start looking at shape language. Try to understand like why things look good, why things like, why does this feel better as a smoother character than a more rigid character? Why do these silhouettes read better? Exactly, stuff. I might have lied. I think you mentioned it before. Disney, yeah, Disney
Yeah,
characters and
Pixar.
Pixar is like hardcore into shape language. Like
Yeah.
all of their characters are, you can like break down their silhouettes into like a handful of shapes for very important things. So yeah, it's more easy to understand when you get really stylized, like Pixar is.
Yeah. For example, Mr. Incredible.
I would have gone with
Mickey Mouse. Yeah.
right.
And this is incredible. Like they're very different. But like you can like most cartoons have really good shape language because the characters have to be really simple, and so you need to be able to identify a character immediately when you see them. And the easiest way to do that is to give them a very distinct silhouette. So they have a bunch of shapes, or they are made up of a bunch of different shapes, or really a handful of shapes, in a specific configuration that makes it very, very easy for you to identify them. That is also like I used to complain about like animators were really lazy. They never allowed their characters to have a change of clothes. The reason that they don't have a change of clothes is because changing the look of your character very quickly, one, it's difficult for the it really is actually very difficult for the animators to have to swap between a lot of different looks, and two, it makes it much harder for you to tell who is who on the screen. I noticed that especially with anime, because like most anime, they draw the faces pretty much exactly the same.
Yep, I was gonna say
every face is exactly the same.
If you swap out anime characters' hairs, they just look like the characters they're supposed to.
Yeah, they look exactly the same.
But yeah, that's a good way to look at it too. It's just like, how are these characters different? Like, if you don't have a good shape language written down for them, like this character will always have this hairstyle, or will always be like this thing. It can get really confusing, and that's bad.
Yeah.
Which I guess you kind of said that, and I was kind of just reiterating, but anime is a good example of that.
I think that I did the long rambly version, and you summarized it, which is probably good for the chat.
I was watching an actually yesterday. Maybe the day before.
Such a good game show.
It is. They were talking about chainmail.
Mm-hmm.
Or not chainmail, studded leather. Studded leather is a Gygax invention, which I thought was really funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't realize that Gygax was the one that made that. Did the lexicon. It's kind of fun to think about the fact that, like, Gygax was just a dude and his friends trying to make more fun game. And it still took them like 2 or 3 editions before it ever really got functional for people to play. But, yeah. Even first edition had its problems. The first edition was technically the second edition. So.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
If you have good shape language, you can instantly know a character off a silhouette test. Yeah.
Yep. Correct.
Gygax is a little literal part boy? Oh, living like a rock star. Okay, got it. Party Boy. Yeah, Elvin here. Pokemon has really, really good shape language.
Yeah.
And part of that is because the Pokemon, at least the original ones, were very distinctive. Like, they all were made out of, like, very basic shapes. And they were always portrayed in the same way.
Yeah.
I like Pikachu's tail thing. Like, it was really funny. Kind of the same thing with Mickey Mouse. I guess the ears have to be a specific way. That's a branding choice, so that the silhouette is always there. But like, there's a lot of Pokemon that once you make them 3D, they look really strange. Like, they just don't make sense. So that one focuses on shape language over actual function, which is the same thing I do with rugby. Like, rugby looks really weird if you try to draw from the side. It doesn't make any sense. So. Also, is everyone else in the Discord chat? I think it's just me and Druid in Discord. Can you guys not hear Druid? Because that would be really embarrassing.
That would be really bad.
No, that's good. I think yeah, we have Brian and Botto were in the Discord chat, but
yeah, just writing stuff.
I think I'm done with this Dragon Boy. I need to give him some dark, creepy vibes. I was thinking about this the other day.
What?
Yeah. OK's DM has been using my sketches for sagas, which is totally fine. But then I started saving them out with the background, and I was like, oh no, can you not do that anymore? So I might have to start saving them out separately as without the background. Let's see what happens. And then doing the like the color splash also might screw that up. I'll have to talk to him about it.
Ooh, forgot to finish that hand.
I don't talk online. Yeah, that's totally fine. That is within your right and understandable. I like streaming in the Discord. I need to find a way to monetize it. I need Would you like to shoot? I'm bad at this part of the job. Would you like to sponsor a live draw? I guess people that commission me, that's basically what they're doing. They're commissioning it. They're sponsoring a live stream. And it's just either on Discord, Twitch, or YouTube. Manscaped. Okay, I think I'm done with this. We did it! Alright, moving on to the next one. For those of you just hanging out who don't like economics, if you do have a D&D character you'd like to see drawn and you haven't suggested one this week, feel free to do so. You're very welcome to. Still have a list. And we're gonna draw some more. Here we go. Oh, I almost rolled that metal die on the glass. That would've been bad. 15. I think I'm gonna get rid of my glass desk. I think I'm done with it. I have the wood now to make to extend to my desk. But yeah, like 10 years ago, glass desk seemed really cool, and now it's just like, I don't want to break this. I'm constantly afraid I'm gonna break it because I'm throwing metal dice around and like trying to use drills and stuff. My life has changed. Things are different. 15. Human fighter, soldier from a time of nomadic people before metal was used. Inspire, leader, feat, chief's son. Okay.
So, Stone Age barbarian, but fighter.
I mean, it sounds like a Stone Age fighter. That sounds cool. I like that. Yeah, because like the martial weapons would be the thing, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Was there a time when martial weapons weren't made out of metal? PayPal. Is that the orange metal dice? It is. Yeah, Brian, this is the orange metal dice. I use them all the time. But I don't want to throw them on the glass. Because they're sharp. They are sharp. Like, I have 2 sets of metal dice now. I have the bronze ones that I bought years ago, and I have the new orange ones that I was graciously gifted. And they are, like, the D4 is a caltrop. Like, it's just needle points. It's amazing. A long stick. Yeah, I mean, like that. I guess that's the thing. What color did we pick from the chat? Purple again. Okay, that's totally fine. I dig the purple, so we'll end that poll and we'll start a new one.
I'm ready for mine as well. What dice am I rolling?
I think we have like 16 left, so however you want to do that.
An 11.
11 will get you an instrument-based warrior. Per the rules, I assume that is a warrior made out of instruments of some kind. But I will let you interpret that however you like. So martial weapons, yes, spears are surprisingly martial weapons. Yeah.
I was thinking I was being asked to do a monster hunter character with a hunting horn.
Could do that too. Death roll dice. Right, but since they didn't post a race or class or a race or heritage, technically the instrument would be the heritage.
I suppose
so. It's an instrument fighter, depending on where the comment is. Are your cats interested in playing with your dice at all? I have to hide mine from the derpy cats because they like to roll them with advantage. No, my cats don't like dice. Skip Cat would occasionally whap dice off tables. But now he just sits on them. Like, he'll jump up on the table and he'll just like try to just cram them up his butt. It's very frustrating. He'll also do it with figures. He'll just walk up and just sit on all the figures. And it's like, why? Why would you do this? He's just like, it's uncomfortable. It's like, why? Then don't do it. And he's just like, no. Oh, this is my job now. Very strange. So I constantly have to wash my dice from all the cat butt. Are you saying barbarians are just primitive fighters? It sounds kind of boring. I mean, kind of. I mean, the Final Fantasy 14 did a interesting job of like kind of making the barbarian. They made him the marauder, and so you started as it's like there's a lot of different classes, but they're all based on one weapon. So the marauder is two-handed axes, and it's all about rage and just being angry and like using your fury and your passion to just destroy stuff. And I like that versus like, doing the classic like really dumb barbarian. It's less about your intelligence or your skill and more about just like your fighting with your heart. I'm like, yeah, I'm down with that. So I always think of a fighter as like a very disciplined person versus a barbarian, which is more feeling and emotion than discipline and training. Hatch your eggs for you? Yeah, Elvin, that's kind of what it feels like. It's like, here, let me sit on this for you. It's like, I don't need you to do that, cat. Please don't sit on my dice.
Okay, I've found something quite upsetting to do. This is going to be great.
What's that?
There are couple of instruments. They kind of look like they come out of Africa, but they're based. They're essentially types of harps, 6-string harps, but they've like the strings go into a violin-shaped echo chamber, and they usually have feet on them, like human feet, and then the really long neck and a human face at the top.
Is it a cello?
No.
Okay. To elaborate on my prompt. Oh yeah, that is disturbing. Okay. What was it? Was it Diablo 4? I swear we found something that was like a spine harp or something. It was a harp made out of people. I don't remember what it's from, but it was gross. More lore Conan versus movie Conan. Elaborate on my prompt since there's no metal fighters in my society. Just don't have metal as they were consistently on them. No refined materials? Yeah. Obsidian weapons. Yeah, essentially that's what I was thinking. Brian, welcome in. Shark's teeth weapons. Yeah, shark teeth are really good. Like, of course, something on bones. I think there were lots of bone weapons. I know a lot of arrows were made just by essentially I was gonna say carbonizing. That's not really the right term. Just baking the end of a stick.
Fire hardening.
Fire hardening. There we go. We're adding carbon, but. Yeah, slings. Like slings are another pretty industrial weapon. So it's very common. I mean, the club is kind of just like, it's good. Take any rock.
Same with spears.
Mm-hmm. I can guarantee that a 12-year-old with a lot of time can make a club with a rock and a stick. Can confirm. Yep, slingshots are great. Okay. 2024 playtest gave Barbs a tree shaman type of subclass, and I'm not sure if I'm a fan. Too magical for the brute force boys. Yeah, see, I don't know. I like that. I think that's really cool. Like the World of Warcraft Tauren shamans always felt a little barbarianish to me, because like their main weapon is was like the tree totems. It was literally just like a giant totem, or like a totem pole. So it's the like it's a log. So they just walk around like both. Like that's a barbarian weapon if I've ever seen one. And they're just massive because the Taurens were supposed to be like large sized creatures. The orcs are pretty big too, though. So maybe it might just be that I've always played Horde, so I don't see the size difference. Is there a meaningful separation between druids, shamans, and barbarians for you? Yes.
Really?
I mean, I think they're like those three things are easily blendable.
Yeah.
Especially if you are a druid that specializes in animal shifting. Like when you shift into a bear, you should just be a barbarian at that point. Like, I think that would be a more interesting way to build the game. Is like get enough points to become a moon druid and then start taking barbarian levels and only use those functions when you are in bear form. That would be a really fun character for me. Shaman, on the other hand, shaman is kind of a real word terminology that I mean, druid is as well, but like
they are fraught terms for sure.
Yeah, but like so the shaman for me has always been more of a healer class or a more specific spiritualist thing. And what I mean by spiritual is like they deal with spirits, not like the term spiritualism and stuff. So less religious, but more focused on spiritual aspects of things versus druids, which focus more on plants, animals, life and death cycles. And barbarians are just, like I said, passion, like people who are embroiled with whatever they're doing, which I think is, rage, passion. It doesn't have to be anger. It's just intensity. I listened to a broadcast last night and it was extremely tired. I thought they said subclass lycanthrope druid, and I was excited until I replayed it. Sad. Oh, I'm sorry. That would be cool too. Like I think absolutely if you want to do a were creature, you could just you could do it as a druid. You could 100% just play a druid, but all of your wild shapes, you just flavor them as your were shifting. Like that's a 100% way to legitimately play a werewolf in D&D. And then you just you basically forego spells beyond flavoring them a specific way so that they feel more thing.
And if you want to keep it in line of a curse, then all you do then is make sure your GM is on board with it first, because this is a lot of work, but the GM gets to be in charge of when you shift, not you.
That could be fun too, yeah. The moment your druid enters combat, they're barbs. The other way I would look at it is really like you would be a barbarian with a subclass of druid. And then just like I said, it's completely flavorful. Like you'd have to choose to do it that way. Because oh no, I'm a barbarian, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm just gonna cast blight. And it's like, what? It's like that doesn't feel right for your character. So it's very much a something you would have to choose to do. But yeah, it always kind of weirded me out that Pathfinder, I think, did a pretty good job of it. Like when you shift into the creature, you are that creature, so you get all their abilities. I'm interested to see what they do with the new playtest, being that shifting doesn't matter what shape you take, you just have different stats. So like druid stats are inherently different than the creature you're turning into. So shaman to me implies spirits, natures of things. Yeah, exactly. I think it fills but doesn't crush the importance of the cleric. Is that confusing? No, that's exactly that's kind of where my head's at too. Like clerics is like the study or devotion to a higher thing, a specific higher thing, and in most cases. Whereas a shaman is really more about the nature of things. And that can be whether they're focused on nature spirits or people's actual spirits. And so even though a cleric could be I kind of always look at like the difference between a priest and a shaman, because I've had actual experience talking to shamans and priests about this topic, is that a cleric or a priest cares about what happens to your spirit, whereas a shaman is more willing to try to attempt to change it. That doesn't quite make the thing. A priest is interested in the health of your spirit, whereas a shaman can heal it. that's a better way to say it. Like I'm trying to think like the nuance is there. The nuance is very very different. And part of that is culture, because like there have been many different types of shamans, many different types of priests, and so when you distill it down to D&D, a cleric will only talk to your spirit after you die. Whereas a shaman's like, yeah, let's just rip your spirit out of your body and talk to it for a little bit. It's like, okay. Astral projection versus necromancy.
Yeah, the more I like think about healers and like clerics specifically in D&D, the more I am of the opinion that all healing magic really is or should be considered necromancy.
Yeah, and it definitely used to be. Like,
yeah, yeah. I still think it should be. But yeah, you know, I think I agree with that. I think that it very much feels to me like clerics are just necromancers that have specific restrictions placed on them by the gods who allow them to play with people's spirits.
There's warlocks who say, hey, I think I've come to bargain, take my spirit. Druids look at the nature of things, plants and animals. Shamans look at the
metaphysical nature,
the essence of things. Yeah. And then clerics look at people and try to guide people to make good decisions. And sometimes that's, hey, you want to give your body to an evil deity because you don't need it after you die? That's fine. That's a choice. Warlocks don't take the choice. Warlocks just... I'm going to make one choice and then let you do whatever the hell you think after that. I have to make this look like wood so it doesn't...
I don't really know what I'm doing anymore.
You know what? Just give it a... Oops, sorry. I was gonna draw it.
No, that's fine.
Let's say give it a... give it a blue skittle face. Just call it a day.
It's gonna be a warrior, so I have to at least give it a weapon.
What's the second creepy face of Cryptic Barbara?
I laughed so hard at bearded dragons making Tic Tacs.
That was pretty good. You donate your body to the church, like when you die. Actually, yeah. So Kevin the Necromancer did this for a long time. He would go around and give people afterlife insurance policies, and so what he would do is he would pay them for their bodies after they die, like while they were alive. It would just be like, okay, here's the deal. I'll give you 500 gold, or usually it was like 50 gold. But he'd be like, I'll give you 50 gold. You sign this pamphlet, and then when you die, I get your body, and I can use it for serving Sandro. And yeah, he just walked around doing that all the time, and it was always really funny. And that's how the Church of Sandro works in his campaign. Is that it's a voluntary donation / insurance company. But instead of paying you money after you die to your loved ones, they'll pay you money now, and then they get your body. It's like, yep, that seems legit. Non-evil necromancy. Debatable.
At the very least, it's necromancy with consent, which is better than the alternative.
Lawful neutral necromancy, I like it, yeah. Keep seeing a meme keep popping up in my feed where it'll be like the fighter or the barbarian's like, my whole family was murdered, and the necromancer, oh, that's so sad, where did that happen? Always on the lookout for more bodies. 5e's kind of dealt with that by having a lot of the, basically just the summoning magic makes corpses.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like 3.5 spells and Pathfinder spells that still need, like, you need corpses, that you have to find them to create the creatures.
Yeah. I get
and it becomes problematic.
I get the 5e like desire to do that. I don't love it.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
I assume that it works the way most conjuration works, which is that you don't actually create it ex nihilo, you just pull it from somewhere else.
Yeah. Or you're making it with like ectoplasm, or your spirit is conjuring these things that kind of don't really exist. They're just extensions of you. It's the difference between like find companion and summon companion, or summon magical creatures.
Yeah, or the difference between create water and control water.
Yeah.
Although create water doesn't actually create water, it technically just pulls water from the plane of water, which is infinite water. And then sends it back when the spell effect ends, so that you don't break reality.
Like the idea of the Sasori from Naruto style necromancy. Every puppet was a family member. Yeah, that's creepy. I have a goddess in my world where the death itself is sacred. Physical vessels can continue to serve, but Incredibly anti-intelligent undead. Yeah, I mean that's kind of I think that's a fair way to do it too, right? Like, especially for a lot of the like if you worship the goddess of death and then you die, I feel like the consent for you becoming an undead is pretty low. Like the bar is pretty low for like unless the goddess of death is like giving the option of permanent rest, right? Like so there are some gods of death that hate. I think the Raven Queen hates undead.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, but is like it's kind of one of those weird things. It's like, I'll use you forever because I'm going to make you not die, which like I'm kind of already dead though. It's like, yeah. But we're going to stop people from doing it without consent. Like that's really the whole thing. I've always wanted to play necromancy that controls spirits. Yeah, ghost necromancy is pretty cool. There's a handful of spells that let you do stuff like that. And I would definitely allow in Pathfinder there's a feat called skeletal summoner. And so you just take your regular summoning feats, but then everything you do gets the undead tag on it. And so instead of summoning a badger, you'd summon a skeletal badger. I would let you do the same thing with spirits. I think that'd be really cool. So you just summon like the spirits of bears or the spirit of different D&D creatures. I'm gonna think about it. I'll be right back. 1 second. Hang tight.
I hate what I have drawn. Curse whoever prompt this was, curse you. On the other hand, though, it is spooky season, and this is probably the most existentially horrific thing I've ever drawn, so yes, it's appropriate. Yeah, ghost summoning might be broken because of innate physical resistance. But on the other hand, like in Pathfinder, maybe, but maybe not, because you can also have a shadow as a familiar. Not a shadow demon, just a shadow. And it, like that thing also is incorporeal and does constitution drain. But it's also it also has some specific restrictions. So if the GM is careful about understanding what restrictions apply and enforces them, then it's not so bad.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
What are we talking about here?
Nothing. Somebody said that the being a ghost summoner might be OP
Yes. So
because of innate physical resistance.
yeah, if you are giving up a feat for that, that is one boon in the right direction.
Yeah.
Um,
I also mentioned that like you can have a shadow as a familiar in Pathfinder, right? Which is also really potentially powerful, but things have weaknesses. So we can balance it if the GM understands what the weaknesses are.
exactly. And a big part of that, I think, goes along with, like, imagine playing Morrowind as Mario. Or, like, Elden Ring as Mario, right? Like,
Yeah.
there are some things that just are not going to work.
Yep.
So, like, yeah, you can't play a spirit summoner in every game. It's very much got to be a game designed for that in mind. Like, you're not going to be fighting just if your DM only throws just generic human guards at you, you're always going to destroy them.
Yeah.
So,
But summoning ghosts is not going to be the only thing that breaks that. So
yeah. It's the same thing about, like, players fighting it. Like, if the DM throws a huge group of ghosts at the party and they're not prepared for it, like, they're hosed.
yeah.
So, it's just part of the game that you got to decide.
All right. That's as much as I am willing to do on this.
Okay. I think I'm about done with this one too. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Rolled an 8.
Perhaps a theme around pumpkins and vegetable characters. I think that was for my October suggestion. And then I think this is the suggestion here. Imagine a living jack-o'-lantern bard who goes around during the fall to show off his tricks to passing travelers. And gives them treats depending on how the pumpkin feels about them. This is like a pumpkin ventriloquist. That's pretty good. Let me catch up on chat here. The stir drain one? Yikes. Yeah, so that's the other thing. It's like not all ghosts are gonna have that. It's very much gonna be one, as a necromancer, there are spells that let you summon those. So that's a thing. But like I said, if you're summoning, like, if you're still only a level 2 summoner or level 3 summoner, I think, to get the feat, you can essentially summon 2 or 3 spectral badgers, which the only difference is that, one, they're incorporeal. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Level 1 ghost is basically just incorporeal. So otherwise, they have the same stats as a badger.
Yeah. The shadow that you can get as a familiar does have strength drain, but it also has light vulnerability, which means that it literally cannot approach a light source. So it's extremely limited.
And I think that's a pretty high level spell anyways. So at that point, like, you could just cast the spell to drain their strength regardless. So, like,
yeah, exactly. So I had my brother GM'd a game where he had a player who had a shadow as a familiar, because they were a necromancer, and that player just kind of abused the hell out of it. So you do have to have a GM that understands the rules and is very strict about it. Like we learned after the fact that a shadow can't approach a light source, and the player, as part of the description, I don't think it has this as the description anymore, but as part of the description, the shadow said that it could teleport to an area of shadow within 30 feet, and the player used the reasoning that there's always shadow under the person's clothes. So like the point is, like, yes, some of the stuff that you can raise, or some of the stuff that you can get as a familiar, or that you could potentially summon, if you were summoning ghosts, could be really powerful. But all you have to do is not be a jackass about it. And like respect when the GM says, no, you should not be capable of that at that level. Just like,
Oh, Druid, I'm sorry for throwing your character out. It just seemed really funny.
what?
When we played
Oh,
on,
no.
when we played on Sagas the other day, I was throwing your
Oh
character
no,
out.
that's fine. It was very funny. Yeah.
Okay, I rolled a 12. Warforged Path of the Beast Barbarian looks like a gargoyle created to blend in with other stone guardians. Metal gargoyle.
I'm happy you guys left me. I felt it was very appropriate.
Blip.
That was fun. Well, he's not wrong. Hold on, let me catch up on this. Next week is Friday the 13th. So I can cast Darkness and Swarm Bosses with Shadows. Genius. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. You can.
Isn't a Banshee considered undead so I can command that? Yep. The spell Command Dead would 100% let you control a Banshee. You can also control things like Dual Hand, Axiom Knights. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Like, control undead is a terrifying spell.
Pumpkin Bard. What do I want to do for this?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out too. Red! Drown with some red! Let's end this poll. I'm gonna swap out the
Cool lantern.
Be-do-be-do-do-do.
I'm gonna take the opportunity to make this a plant creature. Perfect,
Good
since
guess.
I've already got all this practice drawing
You've had so much tuna fish today, you get nothing.
stuff made of vines.
So spoiled.
Oh,
So spoiled, that cat. Losing my voice. Plant person with pumpkin head, stylized like a jester. Is that your suggestion this week?
I think maybe they're offering that as a suggestion of how to do a jack-o'-lantern bard.
Ah.
Which was my prompt.
It might be more noble to hunt and kill an animal for food, fur, and then animate the skeleton. That's true. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. All I'm saying is if honor. Huh? Yeah, it shouldn't break your games. Offering to Druid. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate it. I got an idea. I don't know why, but I just remembered the Gravity Falls Halloween episode.
Which one was
The monster made out of candy nobody wants.
that? Oh. My suggestion was the gnome gun fu assassin. Sorry for the confusion. Oh, that's no problem. Knockoff candies, yeah. Keep cat. No, you don't get any more tuna. I'll pet you. Pet. Keep cat. I bet there's more food in the cat treat bowl. If you go get it. Ooh. Made a suggestion on Monday, so patiently waiting, my friend. Gotcha.
Ooh, that's a cool angle you got going on.
It's gonna be a weird one. Round. I've lost everything. Hold on a second. Gargoyles are just like tiny angry dog people.
Yeah. I suppose they are.
Okay. Skip cat. You guys hear this whining cat?
I can't over the Discord.
So sad. So sad.
Poor sweetheart.
Multiple sets of eyes, why not? Let's do it. You get nothing for another 2 hours. Don't look at me like that. Oh. If I walk over there and there's cat in the fishbowl, there's cat in the fishbowl, cat food in the fishbowl. Jack-o'-lantern looks like one of those muscular dogs. Wait, what?
I've been drawing way too many muscles lately. I don't know how not to.
Whoever wrote the conflict of interest training for my work had extra sass in their copy. Yeah, you're pretty cute. All right, old man, hold on. He's such a spoiled little shit. So we have
you feed him tuna. Of course he is.
They have a it looks like this, and it's got little fish tails sticking out of it. And so like you put cat food inside of it, and then they have to play with it to get the cat food out. Mm-hmm. So if they're like whining a whole bunch when it's not time to feed them. Oh, he's got like 2 hours, so if he's hungry now, he's still gotta wait. But so I'll give him a little bit of food in that. And I walked over there, and he sat and looked at me, and I got the cat food out, and he sat in front of his bowl, and I poured it in the fish tails, and he looked at it, and then he moved to the other side of his bowl and sat down and looked at me like, put it in the bowl. And I'm like, nope. Nope. He's like, do it. I'm like, nope. And I walked away, and he's just like, all right, fine. Like, he knows. He knows the difference. Little shit. All right. Pixel, on the other hand, is just real dumb. He's real dumb. Like, I'll walk over and I'll put the cat food in the fishtails, and he'll run to his bowl and stick his head in the bowl and be like, "What happened? What? I heard the cat food. I know that." And then he'll like look under the bowl, like, "Where is it?" It's just like, "You look, cat. Look at me. Look at me. It's right here."
So he doesn't get the one cat brain cell shared between all orange cats often, does he?
Lathan, I think we actually drew that. We drew that earlier. I think that one got drawn.
Yeah. Rook did that one.
Play. Yeah, normally if that was the... Oh, I didn't draw the greatsword. I'm sorry. I missed the greatsword. Unless this is a completely separate suggestion, in which case, weird. But, yeah. If you suggest them earlier in the week or on the previous Wednesday streams, I'll drop them. Please let me know if that was your suggestion. If not, I will re-add it to the list. But... Those are just jumping in. Welcome, welcome. We are doing viewer suggestions. If you have a suggestion, I will put it on the list for you. Drew and I draw them by rolling dice and drawing the ones that are suggested by the dice. We're also doing a super chat side quest for Octobear. So if you tip a super chat, we will draw you a quick bear sketch of your choice. You guys have a song playlist for D&D characters you play? One problem I run into is I like to do every playlist is a little edgy. I don't. I actually don't. Jump Rope did that once. She made a bard, and so she just got a bunch of songs that she thought her bard would play or sing. And then whenever it was her turn, she would just start playing those into the Discord. Because we were playing online. That was fun. I like that.
I don't really listen to a lot of music, so I never have. But I've also never really played a bard. Bards generally don't interest me in terms of play. Love having them on a team.
I was gonna say, because you're selfish.
Yeah.
Have you? I don't know if I've ever seen you play a support character. Trying to think all the characters.
No, I will usually do a blast caster.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think like magey wizardy DPS is kind of your jam that I've seen.
Yeah. I like blast casters and I like snipers. I don't love playing a frontline DPS, but I have, and like I've enjoyed it, but I prefer to play a little bit more from the back. I've always loved the idea of a support character, but when it comes down to actually playing it, I find that I don't really enjoy it. Although I do always love being the type of character that has healing in my back pocket for when we need it.
I am very much a support character. I like being in front too, though, so I kind of support and tank are kind of my thing. Which is like I'm playing a freaking abjuration wizard, and all of a sudden I'm the tank now, which is really fun. Really fun. Now I want a spell playlist. Cast Firestorm, plays through fire flames. It works.
Kevin the Necromancer is very music oriented. And so like in the game we've been playing, he'll play music and he's like, if you guys can tell me what video game this song is from, I'll give you inspiration. And I like Lars is really good at that. So Lars has all the inspiration and we have none. It's just like, well, this is not my jam. But I listen to a lot of music like when I draw. I need something going. I think I'm about done with this bad boy.
Alright, chat. Has anybody got a favorite candy that would be easy to draw that I can fill this pumpkin with?
Not candy corn?
No. Would you eat candy corn out of a freshly carved pumpkin? And all the moisture that would entail?
Hello, Skip Cat. You can't just come up here and be a butt because you don't want to play with the fish toy. Your face is just covered in tuna fish, Cat. I made tuna sandwiches for lunch, and so he got the tuna can and just like stuck his face in it, and now he's covered in tuna fish. I can smell it. It's somewhere.
Of course you can smell it if it's on your face. Silly boy.
You don't get to go past. No. You can't walk on my keyboard anymore. What the shit? There's no tuna fish up here. Oh, pineapple. Nope, I don't want you over there. Sorry, I'm corralling a cat. Hello, yes. We'll give you pets. Always gonna have pets if you want pets. Don't sit on the keyboard. I'm gonna stick my butt on it! Cool. How do you like this?
Jolly Ranchers do seem good, because then I can just basically fill the thing up with a whole bunch of brightly colored rectangles.
Peppermint candies. Tootsie Rolls? Yeah, Tootsie Rolls. I think just like wrapped candy is probably a good.
Yeah, generic wrapped candies.
Okay, he's gonna bite me here soon.
Saltwater taffy.
Yeah, saltwater taffy, exactly. Little peppermints. Welcome back, Brad, by the way. I think my go-to now, as I've been playing more Baldur's Gate, is like I should just always be an Eldritch Knight with abjuration magic. That's basically what I build every time I try to build a fighter. And now that I've built a wizard, and that's slowly what I'm becoming.
But human? We intend to like older candies, like Good and Plenty's and Dots. Yeah, Good and Plenty's are great. One of my favorites.
That's one I unfortunately have never cared for.
I love black licorice. Just like straight up black licorice. Oh man, it's my favorite. I'll eat it until I'm sick.
I like anise licoricey sort of stuff, but like not candy licorice because I feel like they put way too much licorice in it. But I think we've had that conversation before.
I think I'm done with this bad boy.
I'm getting close.
Metal gargoyle.
It looks good. I really like everything that you've done. The teeth are kind of a little bit derpy and a little bit super creepy. And I dig that.
The gargoyles are supposed to be ugly and kind of misshapen, so it's just like,
Yeah.
what if I take a shovel and turn it into a gargoyle face?
My Gato character is probably a something multi-classed into paladin. Need that anime level melee combat. Go to. Sorry, I read that as Gato, like cat. I got very confused. Apple's just full of
Razor blades. Jeebus.
No, I've decided that this bard's the way that this bard works is specifically through candy. His performance is just giving people candy.
Nice.
So nothing nasty in here.
Go ahead, kid. Have some candy. Rolling hat one, the kid pulls out your car keys, like, oh crap! Daddy, I want a car!
You lose more cars that way.
Alright, I'm done. Done with this, I think.
Bry says he thinks I'm drawing him. See, Bry, if I were drawing you, the vines would also have been orange.
I'm gonna do something terrifying. Hang tight. Yeah, that still works.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I survived it.
Rolling dice. 6. I need a new rubber mat. Which is part of the reason I want to get rid of this table, because like this glass table, I have to have big rubber mats on it so my mice work as well as rolling on them. But like this thing is filthy and it's gross and it's like falling apart on the glass. It's just I need a new one. It's like, I'm just gonna build a new desk. Not have to deal with this anymore. Rook, you are now invited camping? Oh, okay. Black licorice is the staple road food for both myself and my dad. Yeah, you get those big bags of like old school licorice. It's great. I love those. The ones that are made out of like flour and sugar. That's it. That's the only two ingredients. It's like, is this cake? No. Concept of a jar of wild magic candies sounds dope and chaotic. I knew somebody that did that. Was that might have been Bear Bard? Flute Sleuts. It might have been Flute Sleuts, which I think was Bear Bard. I can't remember if they changed the name. Yeah, I think Flute Sleuts, or it was one of the other creators made a whole thing about like wild magic candies that they just reached in and had to grab one and it had spells on it and stuff. It was a cool idea. They were doing, I don't know if they turned it into cards or if they might have the PDF up online for it somewhere. Roll the 6. Here we go. Lizard folk creation bard who paints his spells in the air.
That's one I'm familiar with.
That one actually does say the theme Octobear. Octopus characters or ideas. Oh, October. So close. There's a lot of those, which I was pretty happy with. Which is why we went Octobear. Lizard folk creation bard. Lizard folk creation a bard. You mad at me, Skip Cat? Oh man. See you looking at me. Give me tuna fish. No. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I usually wait for him to like stop throwing a fit and then I'll give him some tuna fish. But like he threw the fit and now he's laying on the carpet just staring at me like, yeah? Yeah? Okay. Now I'll go get him some tuna fish. That's a cute lizard folk. Very feathery. I'm looking at all these lizard folk. I'm like, oh, that was neat. And I'm like, wait, that was mine.
Hey, it's nice. It's a nice day when you can look at your own art and say, hey, that's nice.
That one's super cool. I'm not a big fan of that head shape, though. I want a good lizard head shape. Especially for a bard. A lot of iguanas, a lot of crocodiles.
I kind of get upset when people do crocodilians for lizard folk.
Oh my god. Why are they not lizards?
No.
Interesting. Here's a picture I'm putting in chat.
They are They are more closely related to turtles than they are to lizards.
Interesting. Oh, they're reptiles, right?
Yeah,
What's the
they
difference
are
between-
reptiles. But...
Turtles are reptiles. Lizards are reptiles, right?
Yep. Crocodilians are reptiles, which is crocodiles and alligators.
Amphibians.
And
That's where I was getting
materials.
to. Amphibians are the other lizard types. They're not actually lizards. Oh, that was super cool too. I should just start typing like Steve sketches in before all my reference tags. What is ski? How does Steve draw this? Look at that. There's so many crocodiles. Like it's all crocodiles. Crocodiles or iguanas. That one's really cool.
I just need to add the candy.
I kind of dig this one. It's still crocodilian, but like I like the shapes and stuff. So we'll do something like that. Like a big spiny crocodile. Oh, I just kicked my desk. Curse you,
I
desk!
heard that one.
You knew its time was up. Decided to try to take me out. Hold on a second. Okay. Okie dokie. Big monitor lizard. Movement jump rope. Why don't people do oxalotl lizard folk? That's a good question.
Because axolotls are not lizards.
Would they be closer to a grung, I guess?
I think so, yeah.
Because like salamander, I could see like a salamander folk, but that would be closer to a grung than a lizard folk, I think. Okay, here's the trick for drawing lizard folks. You draw the bottom jaw, and then the rest of the body, and then you just put whatever the hell you want on top. Purple. Purple, 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 purple. And pole. Axolotls are mermaids, not lizard folks. There you go.
I thought axolotls were water kittens.
Just about the same. Yep. I mean, this is the kind of the big problem with a lot of the lizard folk thing is like, people want to do like dinosaur lizard folks. It's like, well, technically, dinosaur folk would be Aarakocra.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't know if it matters at the end of the day. Kind of just do whatever the hell you want, anyway. Man, I really kicked that desk. My toe was.
You okay?
Yeah, no, I definitely like didn't break anything because I like slapped it real good. You ever? I don't know. I'm a skateboarder, and so we used to call it slapping the pavement because that's what you do. Like if you fall off your board and you just like open palm whack the concrete, and it just like you basically bruise your whole palm. It's kind of what my toe feels like. Scraped it a little bit. Not bleeding or anything. Definitely not broken, but like, ooh, that was a good whack. I haven't whacked anything like that in a while. Komodo dragons, yeah.
Komodo dragons have kind of weird head shapes. Yeah.
Didn't you say they're basically evil meat
because they're
eaters
so
that
big.
attack anything they think they can win against? Gila monsters? Probably.
Yeah. Well, they're venomous and they know it.
Give them the desk sweet chill music. Didn't mean to talk over you. Monsters are weird. Is that what you need to skip, Cat?
Grape flavored candy.
Alright, so creationist bards are basically just artists, right? Illusory magic? Is that their focus? Or are they more like artificers?
I'm not sure.
Corvus! Need your encyclopedic knowledge of D&D classes that I don't play. Catfish?
If that's a suggestion for a lizard folk, I'm gonna say you're way off base.
They are artificers. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Keep up. Good? Whatever, Cat. I mean, I have to give this guy, like, goggles. Does he need goggles? Use your music to actually make items or cause them to come to life using songs of creation. Yeah. Okay. This one says it paints, so I'm trying to make it paint.
Orange. That's the one I was.
Playing Chalk Zone and Drawn to Life. Okay. While other bards are playing the hurdy-gurdy. Got it. Depends if the goggles do anything. I don't think so. I think goggles do nothing. That's the traditional wisdom.
Well, I mean, they protect your eyes.
The goggles
I
do
wouldn't say they do
nothing.
nothing.
It was a Simpsons joke.
Ah,
Up and
over
at
my head
them.
then.
Up and at them. Up and at them.
Jiminy Chillikers. Jiminy Chillikers. Just go into either the GIF section or Google. Just type in the goggles. They do nothing. The goggles that do nothing. I'm gonna drop some what's the term? I'm gonna drop some spice. Volo's kind of a piece of shit. and I don't know if that was intentional or not. Has Volo always kind of been a piece of shit? Or is that just a new thing for Baldur's Gate? Or is it because of the backlash from Volo's guide?
Good questions. I have no idea.
I love the idea of graffiti wizards. Graffiti wizards sounds like a cool idea. Creation Bard is pretty much that, yeah. Should be a painting of Rook drawing the lizard folk drawing Rook. Just get some inception happening.
Oh. I see people do those sorts of drawings and I can't help but think to myself, why would you do that? Like it is so much work for the bit.
Have you read Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe?
No.
It's definitely worth it. it's worth the read. But like, yeah, towards the end, he breaches the reality of the comic and kills the artists. And it's just like I wonder how much the artists love drawing themselves getting murdered by Deathpool. Deadpool, sorry, I said Deathpool. Did League of Legends have a skin like that? One of them I think has like a painter's theme to it, but I couldn't tell you which character it was at this point. My friends still play League of Legends from time to time. I guess they play Teamfight Tactics, which is auto chess, League of Legends. But yeah, I played that game so much back in the day, and now it's just like I have no want or need to play it ever again. It's so weird. It's like it's not a bad game. It's just the same game that I've put thousands of hours into.
Mm-hmm. How are we feeling? How many more drawings do you think you got? You got one more? Okay, I think I got one more in me too.
130. We're doing all right.
Yeah. What does an 8 get me?
Orcs all month. Okay, well that's. I'm gonna suggest orcs all month. Actually, that's all it says. I'm gonna be suggesting orcs all month, but then there's no suggestion. So I'm assuming they might have put another orc on there. So I'm gonna delete that. Do you want to re-roll, or do you want me to just give you number 9?
I'll re-roll.
Okay.
5.
A centaur fighting samurai. Fighter samurai. So.
Ooh, centaur is pretty big for the last drawing. Okay, now I can do that.
Just don't focus on the horse parts.
Mm-hmm. Just indicate the horse parts.
Yep. Infer them. Just do a bust. Just do a bust of the centaur. Drawing a picture of drawing yourself, drawing is the bard of casting teleportation circle. Is the bard way of casting teleportation circle. Thanks. Okay. That was hard to follow, but I got it. One of my favorite bits in the characters is the character in the D&D game Get Out D20 Modern. And the DM game yells, "Hey, no recursion." I get it. Okay. I'm sorry. That was a hard sentence to read. That was pretty fun.
Like Grog playing tankards and
Bunions and flagons.
Yep. It wasn't easy to write, yeah.
I still like there's a comic out there. It's on Tumblr, I think, when I saw it, but it was basically Guardians of the Galaxy is just the Avengers playing D&D. That's a funny little thing to think about.
Groot's being played by Bruce Banner, so that every time someone tells him to do something, he's just like, "I am Groot." He's not paying attention. I like to envision spells like rope tricks being customized to the caster, like the Chronomancer cast and the area inside the train car, frosted windows. Yeah, I'm down with that kind of stuff too. Lars is playing a witch right now in Pathfinder 2nd edition, and he's just become enamored with inside ropes. And so, like, everything he does, he tries to somehow make himself use inside ropes to cast. It's just like...
Yeah, for people who don't know, Inside Ropes is a relatively new cantrip that was added to 2nd edition Pathfinder, in which you disembowel yourself and use your own intestines.
Harmlessly
Harmlessly
disembowel yourself.
Disembowel yourself and use your own intestines to create a climbable rope surface that attaches itself to walls for you.
It's pretty silly.
Yep.
What in the nine?
I still
house?
think, yeah, I still think that because it's a spell, it should give the person who cast it some ability to climb. Because as we ran into with Nemi,
I was looking at it, and essentially it does and it doesn't. Because what it does is it basically gives you the benefit of having a climber's kit without having to have one. So it's really meant for preventing you from falling or losing. Like if you're climbing and you fail a climbs check, you don't fall off the wall or slide down the wall. You just, you're fine. That was its intent. It's like an emergency cord. But the way the spell is written, it also sounds like you can just like grappling hook yourself around a place with your guts.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, it's not for rope swinging. It's just to improve your climbing. It's like, no, that's less interesting. But still, like, it's weird. Because every time, that's the thing, ours is like, I rip out my guts and I want to tie somebody up with them. It's like, that's not the intent of the spell, but you can technically do that. So, yeah, it's weird.
So I definitely need the cavalry flag.
Should I give him a little beret?
I've turned him into like a fancy lad, not an artist.
This looks like if Donald Duck got polymorphed into a lizard folk.
Yeah, I'm gonna redo this. I think Poofy's sleeves were the wrong.
I mean, it's funny. Don't get me wrong. I kind of love it, but I'm not sure if that's what you were going for.
It does sort of work because your guts are taken out for surgery and put back in. I mean, it's magic, so you're not actually ripping your guts out. But, like, I don't know. Yeah, because, like, the other weird part of that is you can just, if they get broken or damaged, you can just detach them like a lizard and then you're completely fine. Like, no hit point damage, nothing. It's just like, that's the spell, and then you can do it again the next round if you want. So
Yeah, because it's a cantrip.
it's like rope trick, right? Like you don't have a rope up your arm sleeve. Like you're conjuring a rope because magic. That being said, if you have a rogue with a high enough like sleight of hand, I would let you do rope trick without magic if you prepare it properly. I'm fine with that. Maybe I'll give him an apron. Bob Ross didn't wear an apron, did he? Well, maybe he wore a waist apron.
Oh. No, he always wore a
Collared shirt and
collared shirt, yeah, and just kind of simple dark colored slacks.
Yeah, I like the direction you're going. Yeah, sorry. Now I can give him a poofier hat, though. I keep forgetting to write the names down because I'm working on these. I guess I could still give him poofy sleeves. It just doesn't need the ascot anymore. Is that what it's called? What's the poofy neck thing? Is that an ascot?
Might be an ascot. I don't know. For sailors, I have no idea. There is probably some obscure naval terminology for it.
Kavat, yeah, okay.
It's an ascot, a sweater. I think it's a sweater.
No, an ascot is like a really fat pie.
Did you say pie?
Pie.
I gotta look this
Necktie.
up. Oh, necktie. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so an ascot is if a necktie, or is if you try to tie a bandana or a scarf like by a necktie.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. What's a kavat then?
A cravat is like the frilly tie that 18th century sort of fashion.
These two things are the same. An ascot, also called an ascot tie, is a necktie that consists of two wings of wide, pointed fabric, usually the same size. A cravat is a clothing tied around the neck for decorative purposes and can therefore encompass neckties, bow ties, scarves, and even ascots. So a cravat is a more general term of an ascot.
Interesting. I thought cravats were very specifically the like frilly lacy bits.
No, a cravat is just a scarf. An ascot is a specific type of tie. Weird. Weird. Neckerchiefs, yeah. Welcome in, Oliver. Ask not about the ascot. Commissions are open, by the way. A little bit of time next week to try to fill one project I'm working on, and then the video I'm working on, which I wanted to get out by the 10th, which I think I'm on track to do. Let's see if that happens. But if people want to commission me, I'm open. I think I'd like to do some. I'm gonna try to find a place to like promote some sketches, just like sketchy sketches. People are looking for non-colored tokens or anything, let me know. Love to stream that. Maybe we'll go stream on Picardo this afternoon. So spicy.
Yeah, Rook After Dark stream. Ah.
Yeah. Haven't done one of those in a while. Alright. I think I'm done. Let's get this poopy sleeve up. Paint, paint, paint.
And this centaur keeps growing on me.
Lizard folks' expressions should always give you judgmental vibes. Like,
100%. Yeah.
would you advertise on Reddit, like r/D&D, or would you bring in some less than savory customers? No, I've actually advertised on like r/D&D before, r/character drawing. I think you can only post stuff for r/character drawing on like Mondays and Tuesdays, and I always forget. So it's been a while. But yeah, no, I think I need to kind of start branching out and looking for more clients, more art. Yep, I'm done. Okay, let's roll the dice. I think we're down to, yeah, we're down to like a d12. 2. An orc rogue who steals his victim's clothing for disguises, but none of them fit properly. Got it. October begins. did want to draw more orcs this month. 'Cause I still don't have a good... I don't have a favored way to draw orcs.
I've got a way that I've established. I have never been fully satisfied with it.
Elven hair. He looks good. Thanks, Rook. Oh, yeah. Was that last one yours? The lizard man? Also, $2. Would you like a bear or an octopus? Do you prefer pig orcs, wow orcs, or green oni? I mean, wow orcs are really good.
I tend towards green oni.
Getting this dude vibes. Centaur armor. That's pretty good. That's a lot of metal. Why does he have 4 arms? Octopus, please. Okay, let's draw a quick octopus.
Why not? Why not double all of the limbs? Has 4 legs, why not have 4 arms?
She's got the arms and the legs of a person. Just that dude sitting on a horse body.
Yeah.
Connected at the spine. The back end of a horse and the back end of a human. Fused inseparably at the face. I watched Gab Smolders start playing Pumpkin Farmer. Is that what it's called? Morning. And oh my god, that game looks amazing. And I feel inspired and jealous that I didn't come up with it.
That feeling of, oh, I could have made that game.
Yeah, it's like, I love this. This is everything I like. One of my friends actually called me. This was months ago, but like he called me. He's like, "Did you make a video game?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Check this game out." And I'm like, "Holy shit, this is 100% my vibe." Like, everything about this, including the art style, is stuff that I love. So, I think that was Across the Obelisk, which is it's really fun game. I would have loved to make it. I might make something like that one day. I keep thinking the swords coming towards us is like going to take a pizza out of the oven. It does look a little bit like a peel. It's a little big.
What? Huh?
A pizza peel?
Yeah, with the sword coming towards you?
Are you looking at the Discord?
Oh, no. Okay, yeah. I thought they were talking about my drawing, and I was like, wait, there's no sword coming towards camera.
The fuck
My
you
drawing.
say? I haven't said that in a while. I miss saying that. Such a like an indicative English sentence.
Yeah.
The fuck you say?
The fuck?
You can also go with the hell you say if you need to be a little more polite. Because the full sentence is, "Excuse me, sir. What the actual fuck did you just say to me?" But you really only need the fuck you say, and that's it. That's it. It's the perfect truncation. That is the YOLO of my time. It needs to be more derp. More derp, I demand it. So Cosmic, there's a term for what you just did. I can't remember what it's called. But your invocation of the image of a centaur with hands instead of hooves, you have invoked it, and now everyone has it in their head, and therefore it exists. So you willed it into being by not wanting to talk about it. Good job. I can't remember what that's called.
Yeah, but also that's the construct my goblin artificer made.
It is. It's really good.
Need a mount. What if I need to take my mount up a wall? Well, he needs a grappling hook. He's also four-legged because I need something that can pull a cart. So how do I get something with four legs up a cable? Human centipede it.
I really thought you were going to say, but what if I need to take him out salsa dancing?
I mean that too.
Yeah. Can't salsa dance with a horse. I'm going to give him some cool tattoo shit.
But also, Rook, you kind of can salsa dance with a horse if if you've taught them dressage.
Okay, dressage is bullshit. Dressage is just walking your horse and looking foolish at the same time.
Yes, yeah, I do not disagree with you.
How can I look more silly walking my horse? It's like, why are you walking your horse? What are you doing?
I'm not walking. Look, the horse is dancing. No.
There's a great King of the Hill episode where Hank gets really into dancing with Ladybird, the dog. That's a funny episode. I think Bobby starts doing it, but then Hank is like, this is amazing. There's our little Squiddy boy. Ladybird, you're beautiful. It's actually a creepy design I've always wanted to draw. An elk with a human hand for a head. Best of luck. I'm not going to do that. Unless you want to pay me. If you want to commission that, fine. I'm fine with that. I'll do it. But just runs up and grabs you. They did something like that on Adventure Time when the deer walks up and takes off his hooves and he's got hands underneath and gloves. And they're just like, the crap, man.
Rye washes its hands creepily
Mm-hmm.
as it licks its lips. Ugh.
Deer are creepy. Horses are creepy. Dressage as a competitive thing, I actually don't have a problem with it. I was being hyperbolic. But
you reacted exactly as I expected you to. I was trying to trigger Rook complains about horses again.
Yeah. That's definitely a way
and
to
look
do
at
it.
that, I succeeded.
I've seen some of my cousins were really really into rodeo stuff, and there's some really amazing things you can do with like barrel riding and what's the other thing called? Maybe it's just barrel racing. I can't remember what it is. But like there's some amazing stuff you can do with training horses. But like dressage is just it feels more like a dog. I guess it's a dog and pony show, so it's the same thing, which is probably where it came from. But what was I doing? Orc. I'm gonna draw an orc.
I think it's funny that dressage exists when like the European horse training tradition is so much more like uptight and really conceited about how much better they are than Western riding culture. But dressage is European riding culture, and it's stupid. it's really nonsensical.
Elk bear and octo friend
Go on an adventure. Yep. All right. What kind of tusks should our orc have here?
That is always the question.
Yeah. Actually, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll do that.
It was just like really lean into the underbite.
Make him real lantern jawed.
Yeah, it's like the bottom teeth are just always out. Go for like really scooshed head since he's a rogue.
Very angular. How long?
Oh, I forgot to put the elk ears on.
How long can Tusk get before you should have just drawn a Luxodon? That's a good question.
I don't know.
Is it Tusks are always from the top?
Tusks are always
Or are they just a tooth?
I think tusks are always in the no, not always in the canine position. Tusks are always ever growing.
Okay. What's the alternative? Fangs?
Fangs are always canines.
Okay.
I don't know why rodent incisors don't count as tusks. Maybe because they don't stick out of the mouth. I think tusks have to grow continuously, never stop growing, and stick out of the mouth. Oh, it's been a while since I looked that up though, so I'm not 100% sure. All right.
Okay, so this guy wears other people's clothes. Don't tusk me, bro. Are there any tusks on the lower jaw? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like,
Yeah,
I guess
pigs
boars have
except tusks
both,
on
right?
both upper and lower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like the narwhal.
Narwhal has usually it's only a single tusk, although there are sometimes males who have two.
But do they start at the top and just go up?
They are, I think, one of the front incisors on the top, on the upper jaw.
Oh, right. Norwal tusks go forward, but the way their body is shaped, it looks like it's coming out of the top of their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super weird. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have two, but the second one's just really tiny. It doesn't grow. Well, that one has two. Oh, evolution, you're so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, new Sonic game comes out next week.
Oh
Nope,
no.
week after. I'm gonna get it. It looks good.
Does it?
Yeah, it's a multiplayer. Multiplayer 2D game, which I'm a big fan of multiplayer platformers. So. Give it a try. 11 inches? 11 inches of Luxodon tusk? Or Norwal? Oh, that's how long until you should just draw Luxodon? Got it.
I think it depends. If we're talking about drawing orcs, then sure. But if I was drawing a narwhal based character, I think I'd just stick with the narwhal.
Narwhals swim in the ocean. Cause emotion.
What else has tusks that I would draw? The weird tusked deer. Corvus knows. Corvus, where are you?
I think it might be Potato Day.
Oh, poor guy.
Either Potato Day or Wood Day, which I need to go chop some wood after this. So.
Yeah. It definitely is getting that time
Cool.
of year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orxodon? It's an Orxodon. Walrus, yeah, walruses.
Oh yeah, walrus. I always forget about walruses. I don't actually care that much about them.
I was at the Tacoma Zoo the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and they have three walruses, and one of them was just being an asshole to the other one, and so the other one just kept like diving out of the water and just like whomping it, just like jumping up and whap, and then the other one would come out of the water and like whoop right in its face. They'd be like "fuck you" and smack it with its face. It was pretty funny to watch. Loxodon is an elephant person, right? Yes, it is.
Yes. I like Mercer's name for them better.
What's that?
Akidan.
I've never heard that. Is that a new thing?
Yeah. I mean, they are just basically Luxodons, but that's the name he gave them, I think, in campaign 3.
Oh, did he put him in the Caldori guide or something?
Yeah. So they were even before the drama with WotC, they were already trying to flavor their own.
Yeah, I mean, to be
own
fair,
way.
I think Critical Role had the intuition of this was like this is a thing that's coming.
They had their finger on the pulse. They could see what was coming. Yeah.
We need a little tiny bird hat. I'm struggling, which is good. I want to try to figure out how the draw works. So. And it might just be because it's almost 2. Oh, it is 2 o'clock.
Yeah. It's getting late.
It's a little fried.
I'm getting tired. I'll admit. I already spent 2.5, almost 3 hours drawing this morning.
Oof.
On that bear that I told myself I was only going to spend an hour on.
All right, I feel better now because I was like, damn, got a lot done in an hour.
Yep, no. Keeps getting longer and longer.
Which isn't bad. Like it's not a bad thing because like that's really what it should be doing. You're basically exercising.
Yeah.
So you're building up drawing endurance, and then eventually you'll be at a point where you're like, I could do this for commissions. Like, you can sit down.
That's exactly the goal, right? So.
And honestly, like if you think you can do something like that in 2 hours, then set up a commission and say, hey, I'll spend between 2 and 4 hours on something, and go from there. It's a good place to start. And if you feel like you can give people more time, charge them more. Spend more time on it.
Yep.
I'm going a little more derp, just because I haven't drawn anything derp today, except that bear. And this is kind of a derpy suggestion anyhow. I'm trying to draw an orc in a dress.
It's a battle skirt?
Nope, no, this is a dress.
Hmm.
This is 100% like little old lady sundress with a bird hat on top. I gotta blend in. Sometime I do look the look of saber-toothed cats. Yeah, those are pretty good. Now, were those tusks or were those just teeth? Fangs?
I think that those were fangs. Because I believe they did not continuously grow. Could be wrong though. I have not. God, it's been at least 10 years since I've actively studied Smilodon.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
We can call it at any time.
I'm gonna try one more time.
Okay. You got this.
Move this over and zoom in. Maybe he needs a beard. Beard and sideburns.
Yeah.
Scrumbat, hello, hello. We have a good weekend. Start of your weekend, I suppose. Could do fat guy in a little coat. It's a classic.
Give him the Mr. Smee.
Yeah, do Mr. Shmee too.
I thought that's what the fat guy in the little coat was.
Oh no, that's a Chris Farley joke.
Oh.
I think that's from what's that from? Tommy Boy? I think it's from Tommy Boy.
I haven't thought about Chris Farley in a really long time.
Yeah.
He was a really good actor. I'm afraid I didn't really appreciate his comedy.
Very loud.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get my bathrobe.
Whatever works.
Didn't really get to play with the costume on this one.
I spent too much time playing with the costume on this one.
Fair enough.
That's okay. The last... It's alright for the last ones to not be Perfect.
I think that's all I'm gonna get. This is
Sounds good.
A little bit of thumbs up. We tried. Thanks again, everybody. Yeah, commissions are open. I'm gonna be working on the owl. I'm gonna be trying to make a whole bunch of potion bottles, which I want to make water bottle things. I think that would be really fun. So I'm gonna try to work on those. I don't have an image to show that off. There's some pictures of it in the Discord, and then I made a little short of where I'm at with it yesterday. So go check that out. Otherwise, I don't have a lot else to go for. So yeah, I do want to start doing some. I tried streaming on Twitch the other day, and it was pretty low turnout. Partially because I don't stream there as much anymore, and partially just because Twitch is. Ugh, it's driving me crazy. So I might start trying to stream on Picardo or something. I might do that later this afternoon. Probably won't be a notification for it. That might also be a spicy drawing, so I'm not sure how that'll go, but we'll try some stuff out. So we'll have fun with it, and just have a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah.
Stay happy, stay healthy, and keep your dice on the table. We'll keep hanging out and having fun. That's a really good centaur, by the way. Good job with the legs.
Thank you.
And that's it. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Bye.
Bye.